I had another person who had gas, really bad gas, and they had a doctor's note for it that they couldn't control it, but it was so bad that people were calling into HR so much that we had to address it. Like, I know you got a note, but like, that's disgusting. That just smells like freaking farts on around your office. And so ultimately, we let that person go because of farts, because of flatulence. It was so distracting to everybody. And so many people wrote in that they had to go. They had the farts were too much.
You're listening to Let Me Speak to a Manager with Frank Cava and Ian Matthews.
What a crock of shit.
Yeah, that was hot mic, Sam.
It's 30 minutes away. I'll be there in 10.
Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Frankie.
Ian, you son of a bitch.
Frankie, where are you at today? You look like you're off location.
I am off location. I am in Ian's favorite city in America, known to those of you who grew up in the 80s and 90s as Wales Vagina.
Ah, San Diego.
Exactly.
The translation has been lost over time.
Correct.
What are you doing out there? What are you doing out there?
My wife told my kids that when we came here for summer vacation. I came back a couple of days ago. I came here to do a speak at a mastermind group for people who are do fix and flips and that kind of stuff. So I went through kind of an overview of what's working in the market now. I'm selling an event at my office in October for we only have 18 slots. We got about 12 left, and then it's we're going to show people basically how to capitalize on the market today. A big part of that's ADUs and tax strategy.
When you say event, is this multiple days? What are people doing?
Yep, fly in on Wednesday, go to dinner Wednesday night, gonna meet and greet. Thursday we're in
at your office, or did you get a hotel room?
We're doing it small at our office, just with the right group of people. So you're going to do kind of an immersive. People really are interested. Like, how do we convert our lead close at over 40%. I put a stat up the other day about this, and I usually get 5 to 10 people reach out whenever we do that, and they're like, "How the hell do you do it?" The industry average is somewhere between 5. 20 is really good. So we double that. So we bring people into the office and show them how we do it. Like, there's a whole system. There's a lattice around how we go out and do this. And we just show people that. And we're going to show them our product.
So it's kind of you're showing them how the sausage is made. You're showing them how we generate leads, where we send our different leads, how we manage through our list, who we send the leads to, how we follow up, they kind of get a chance to see all of the stations on your assembly line that generate the revenue that you produce every month.
So our business is a bit of a hub and spoke. It starts with a lead and a person who's motivated to sell a house, and then all the little things we do to be able to capture that lead, and then how you can then take that lead and turn it into a monetary event. And then we show people all of those little systems, and then we show you, like, okay, this is one that we did a novation on. This is one that we bought to flip. This is one that we bought, flipped, turned into a rental, and then built an ADU on the back of. So we have 10 different exits, and it's one of the reasons that we have the ability to close at such a high rate is because we have multiple exits on every single.
What I'm curious, can you share what do you charge for this event?
$5,000, 2 days. That's it. It's pretty cheap. You can bring up to one person.
Do you get to drink some of Frank's special reserve wine from the cellar?
It's all you can drink: coffee, sparkling water, cold coffee, warm coffee. We have that.
What about that? You still have kegs of beer in that office?
We do. We have beer. We have beer kegs.
I like beer. I've drank beer. I still enjoy beer. Do you remember that Supreme Court grilling of that guy from Congress asking him about beer, if he enjoys beer?
I remember that less than the gorilla we just watched a minute ago about to jump out of an airplane. Because it's one of my favorite things to do. Not skydive, drink beer.
That feels like, if you're a small business owner, though, that feels, I mean, I don't want to tell you what to do, but that feels low. I feel like if I had a chance to literally see all of that, you can't find that stuff just by hunting and pecking on YouTube. You can't find anyone who's really giving you the honest scoop. And I imagine you're going to bring your different department heads in to kind of talk about what they do and show them how it's set up, how you structure. That feels like something I'd get a return on within a week. It's awesome.
If you're not getting a 5 to 10x return, like
you're not serious about being in real estate. You're not.
For most people in our space, you spend 25 to 100 grand a month on marketing and advertising. We spend more than 100 grand. So this is a small drop in the bucket. If you can literally convert on like 1/2 of one deal, you're going to pay for this multiple times over. So it's not meant to be a huge profit center. It's meant to get a bunch of people in the room and talk about what we do, how we do it, how to capitalize on it, and then see if there's other opportunities to do things down the line. It's not meant to be a huge revenue generator.
Yeah. I have no interest in starting a business like yours, but if you ever start incorporating this special reserve wine, I'll pay $5 grand for that seat and come down and hang out with you.
I think I've
I'd be
told
happy
you this.
to do that.
I bought 4.5 cases, almost 5 cases when I went to Napa. It all starts showing up in about September when the weather cools off a little bit. Quintessa didn't care. They just mailed me my 3-bottle vertical, right? Like is it warm there?
Jenny's with Madison and her parents in Europe right now. They're in Italy. They're doing one of those like river cruises. Me and IJ are back here because he's got football. So, but she was at Bulgari, which is a really nice winery in Tuscany, and she's like, "Oh, this tasting is so great." And Jenny doesn't know wine that well. She's like, "But it's all delicious, really good. Should I get some shipped?" I'm like, "Yes." Which ones? She's sending me like a list. I'm like, just let it rip. Like, tell them that I like good, expensive wine and send a bunch of cases over here. We'll figure it out later. I'll see it on the bill, I'm sure.
If anybody out there is interested in doing a wine event with Ian and me, just drop a comment. We will. We don't need to go to Total Wine. We don't need to go to Total Wine before you get here.
Frank stores it. I don't. I drink it. I did. It's got an expiration date. Let's drink it. I'm not. I store baseball cards and I drink wine. That's my strategy.
I got to be close to 1,000 bottles at this point.
I did. Frank, you went through Leadership Essentials. I did week 12 this week, which is it's always kind of a fun week. I wait to the last week of the class to do how to fire someone. Because I used to have it in like week 4, which felt weird. Like that's what you do in management is just shit can people. So I make it at the very tail ass end.
Unless you're Cava companies and you get fired in week 6, like he is literally
most people don't make it through 6 weeks. I normally don't actually fire the people who pay me to do it. I usually just tell Frank, quit spending money here.
Hey, would you do me a favor? I'm going to fire your folks. Come up with a bottle of wine. We'll lament.
Yes. But we were. I role play it. So I ask people to send me a scenario that they've either dealt with in the past or if they're currently dealing with someone that they might have to kind of plan. And we always role play the shot across the bow, kind of the second to last meeting, the, hey, last chance, I'm thinking of replacing you. Right. And we work on the language, all that. But I had one that had me crying just to read it. So guy's got an employee who's not real good. Kind of sucks. It kind of oversold himself in the interview, misses deadlines, sloppy, unorganized. That's not the funny part. He's got like his front 6 teeth are fake, and he's got like, the kind of dentures that you put in, but he's always playing with it and fiddling with it when he's nervous. So he'll take these teeth out and jiggle it around. And this guy's like, I'm not saying it's the reason I'm firing him, but it sure does add to the discomfort in the office because he's always jiggling around his teeth. And like, can I bring it up? Can I talk about it? And I'm like, lucky for you, this guy sucks at his job. Just stay focused on the metrics. Don't talk about the friggin' teeth because you could get yourself in trouble. But what if he was okay at his job, but just made people so uncomfortable? And it got me thinking, like, times where I've had to let someone go because of a quirk or something. Have you ever had a situation where you, like, someone was okay at their job, but there was something just so friggin' weird that they were making people uncomfortable that you kind of had to pinch them out or have a conversation with them of you're creeping people out or you're making people uncomfortable?
So sadly, yes, more than once. And there's not like an example that comes up. There's a bunch of them. But it's like, All right, three quick things. This is hysterical. So number one, I got Invisalign after COVID because I was during COVID, I was tired of looking at my crooked ass teeth. So I like on Zoom meetings. So I got that. And what I did with Invisalign is they give you a little thing you put in your pocket.
Yeah.
We have a sparkling water tap at the office. So I always had sparkling water in a glass, and I would just drop my dentures in my water glass and leave them on the table. And I would just drink out of it, and everybody would get so freaked out. It didn't bother me because they were mine. All right. So I moved to Charlottesville. When I moved to Charlottesville, I moved from 10 acres in a gated community in the middle of nowhere where no one ever knocked on your door. Like my driveway was a tenth of a mile long. Like not the place for trick-or-treaters. I move into like downtown Charlottesville. You've been there. Like your like license plate got ripped off one time you were there.
Oh yeah.
So like this, there's more riffraff. I'm there for I'm like the movers had left like 2 hours earlier. Like it's some dude. He looked like Axl Rose with no teeth. Knocked on my door, and I went down the stairs. I had these huge windows that you could see out. And like I'm 6'1", 6'2", 225, 240, depending on the day and how many cheeseburgers.
Lean, strong.
Like I'm a confident guy, and I see this guy at my door, and he's got no teeth, and he looks like a heroined out Axl Rose, and he's just knocking on the door. I'm like, go away! I was so scared. He worked for the home builder. He's like, he'd taken his teeth out and he had his hat off. Like he usually has his teeth in. He's like, I have your keys. I'm like, oh.
Sorry, I thought you were someone else.
I thought you were part of the local riffraff.
Thought you were the freaking Grim Reaper. So I had multiple. I've had a lot of these. Usually they're around dress codes where you just couldn't get someone locked in on the dress code enough.
God, we had like boobs pop out,
boobs, butt, right, showing tramp stamps, right, in corporate places that they shouldn't be. We had one guy. He was huge. He was just a big dude, and he was good at his job. He was smart. He was like in our compliance department. But Frank, when I say he smelled like ass. You could smell it 3 cubes away. Like it was disgusting. I mean, it smelled just like he didn't ever wash his socks. Like smelled like teenager socks after football practice bad. Like that kind of like gag. But he was good at his job, but no one could sit near him. It was so bad. And people were complaining, and we didn't really know quite what to do. Until it came up to HR, and my manager there finally brought him in. It was like, listen, you're doing a good job, but I'm getting a lot of complaints about odor from you. You smell. She's like, I need you to fix it, and I need to not hear about it anymore. And that's how she handled it. It was awesome. Within a week, he quit, which was great for everyone in the office. And I had another situation where I had someone with digestion problems in our Charlotte office.
He was good, but he quit.
He was good, but he quit. But he smelled like ass. Like he couldn't fix it. He smelled so goddamn bad. Frank, you couldn't be in a room with him. You couldn't be in a closed room. It was so bad. And I'm sorry, but people have to work. Like if it's distracting people, that'll make people quit if they have to go to an environment where it smells. And I had another person who had gas, really bad gas, and they had a doctor's note for it that they couldn't control it. But it was so bad that people were calling into HR so much that we had to address it. Like, I know you got a note, but that's disgusting. That just smells like frickin' farts on out your office. And so ultimately we let that person go because of farts, because of flatulence. It was so distracting to everybody, and so many people wrote in that they had to go. They had the farts were too much.
All right, there's 2 things here. First is this line from Field of Dreams. Ty Cobb wanted to play, but none of us could stand the son of a bitch when we were alive, so we told him to stick it.
That's great. That's a great scene. Great scene.
I don't know why you said that. So what I usually will lean into in these situations is this, it's you got to know who you're dealing with, right? Like you need to understand, is this a person who has a sense of humor you can be honest with, or is this somebody who doesn't? And if it's someone who does, if it is, it's easy. It's like, look, pulling you in, HR's in the room. We're going to have a conversation about your dress, your this, your that. And we need you to rein it in because I don't want to have a more difficult conversation. And we are in a place where we're smaller than the big companies. We can do it that way. And we usually have a relationship. The CEO, me, is on calls with people twice a week. Like everybody has access to me so we can navigate that. But if it's something that is unnavigatable, like usually what you have to come down to is just like culture, and you have to take the culture over the performer. And it's hard work to do that. It sucks, but like hey, is this really working out? Is this the right, like you usually leave out the punchline. There's a great line, Cowherd says this all the time. He tells his kids, the biggest conversations about your career happen when you're not in the room. So I think this is kind of what we're going to get into in a minute.
It's accurate.
It really is accurate. What really is important is to understand kind of like who you are and what people think of you. It doesn't have to drive you, but you need to be at least cognizant of it.
Yeah.
And if it's something that you do that's quirky, like I had a
That's
kid.
what I define whenever I talk to people as it relates to a company, Frankie, I define personal brand as what people say about you when you're not around. That's your
100%.
personal brand. Your personal brand isn't what people say to your face. Your
Yeah.
personal brand is when you're not in the room, how do people talk about you?
100%. Like we had a kid this summer who worked for us for a bit of time, and he would he just broke out into song, and it was like that scene in that movie with Hugh Grant where he ultimately was on stage and got hit in the face with a piece of fruit because he was singing a song nobody liked. It was like just kind of like, huh.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm a pretty assertive guy. I think you and I are about the same in this. I've never had a problem looking someone in the eyes and telling them exactly how I feel. If I'm disappointed, I share. That's kind of one thing I'm big on is just if you feel something, say something. Do it in a way that they can absorb it, right? Do it in a way where you're not a jerk about it, but don't. It's so passive aggressive when you feel a certain way about someone and you don't share it with them. Except dress code with women. That's the one thing in my whole career. I don't talk about you showing your boobs. I don't talk about you showing your butt. I don't talk about your tramp stamp or your belly or the jeans are too tight. I delegate that 100% of the time to a woman manager. I've never had that conversation. I never want to be accused that I made them uncomfortable, that I said something. I stay as far away from that as I can.
You
That
have
might
to.
be cowardice. That might be chicken shit. I don't do it. I'm as far away as you can get.
Corporate culture today dictates that you do that because there's lawsuits and stuff that comes up from this crap all the time. And people don't have a sense of humor about it. What we typically will do in that situation is with a small company.
I'd have Carla do it.
Carla does do it. I wasn't going to mention her, but she does it, and she usually does it with a witness. Not me, not a man, like another woman. Like, I need you to sit in on this.
Yeah.
And they just talk about it. And then usually it's like, hey, we've been there. We've been breastfeeding. We've dealt with this. But get the F away from it.
Yeah. So let's go rapid fire on some shit that happened this week. Just this morning, ESPN announced a deal to acquire the NFL Network. I don't know all the terms of the money. It's extensive, but the big piece that came out of it, the NFL acquired 10% of ESPN ownership. So they own 10% shares now in ESPN. So those two, that's not quite a merger, but it certainly links them much closer. And if I'm a company like Google with YouTube TV, or if I'm Amazon Prime, who is always fighting to get more games, I'd be very uncomfortable today knowing that that the NFL just acquired 10% interest in the profits of ESPN. I think that might bode poorly for Amazon going forward on how many games they're going to get.
So I think there's a lot of things that kind of come up with this, and I think it's really interesting. So the most profitable and the most watched television is the NFL. So if you go and look at the 50 most popular television shows over the course of a year, like every blue moon, something comes up, but it's almost all, like the Super Bowl is number one. It's not particularly close. There's almost no other sporting event that ranks. In 2025, like the SNL 50 will pop in there, but nearly everything else is football games. So it just shows you that. So there's a few things that came to mind. Number one, I think soccer I think the NFL, I think basketball have really dictated what Major League Baseball has done. And if you look at it, Major League Baseball did not have a buyer. ESPN walked away from baseball, which is doubled down with the NFL. And they did that because the NFL drives ratings, and ESPN was kind of getting squeezed a little bit from the NFL. They weren't like their Monday Night Crew was a joke. They had like Bubba McFarlane on like some crane overlooking the stadium.
Yes.
They were getting elbowed out. And ESPN said, screw it. We're going chalk. We're getting Troy Aikman. We're getting Joe Buck. We're going to get like a great sideline reporter. We're going to make a massive investment. That was 2 years ago. And that massive investment has now led to something else, which is really interesting with the NFL kind of lean in. I got more on this, but I'll let you go.
No, keep going.
All right. In addition to that, it's this. So when I go to watch football, I want to watch football. I don't want to be lectured. I don't want to be talked to in a way that I feel bad about myself or like I'm not part of the conversation. Like what I typically have on at home is I have on sports. And a lot of times I have it on in the background. But my initial reaction with ESPN taking this over is, oh, shit. And the reason is I no longer feel comfortable with ESPN. I used to joke.
ESPN is owned by Disney, so I think that's worth saying, which is leans liberal, has had its clashes with Republican governors in Florida. So, and clearly has leaned in,
to the woke.
leaned left strongly in their movies over the last 10 years.
And the thing with ESPN is like, I used to joke with people that I had a minor in Sports Center in college. Like that was my minor. Like I used to always watch it and I loved it. But it's gotten to a point where it doesn't feel like it's fun. It feels like a lecture. And I have actually gotten away from watching a lot of ESPN. I watch College Game Day and that's about it. The other stuff I watch is on other networks. Like I watch the NFL Network now for the draft. I used to love the draft with Chris Berman and all those guys. So so what I've immediately felt was I hope they get this right. And I hope it's a place where we can still go get NFL and it doesn't become some social experiment where they make you feel bad about yourself.
Well, I think what you're saying also is there are enough sources out there all around us that are just yelling into the echo chamber of politics. And sports is the one place we can go to that there are a few places left where you're not dealing with some of that. There are a few places left where you don't feel like you have to listen to politics. And I think that's why most of us love sports is regardless of who you voted for, the scoreboard's the same and the rules haven't changed. So I would kind of tend to agree with some of that. Another thing that's kind of been hot topic this week is American Eagle put out an advertisement with Sydney Sweeney. And it has created a ridiculous backlash that I don't know where it's all. I do know where some of it's coming from, but in general, the ad, Sydney Sweeney is a movie star. I think she's 26 years old. She was in White Lotus. I thought she was great in that. I haven't really seen any more of her other movies, but it's her in a pair of jeans with a denim shirt, showing a little bit of cleavage and talking. Really doesn't say anything of note. When I watched the commercial, you and I just watched it before this. We've been reading a lot about it, but we watched it. It didn't really say much. But the title of the ad is Sydney Sweeney Has Great Genes. It's kind of a play, right, on jeans or jeans, and everyone's
jeans
lost
with a J or jeans with a G.
Yep, everyone's lost their mind. People are saying it's racist. People are saying that it is Nazi propaganda, blah, 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 blah. Here's what I do know. Stock went up 23% in the week following all of this press. It's since come out that Sydney Sweeney is a registered Republican. That might be the reason why everyone's so angry. I wonder if people wouldn't be as angry if they're a Democrat, but it's controversy, and it's controversy in a way that has benefited American Eagle. You can't get these jeans. Like, they're all out of stock. They're out of stock of the jeans she wears in this commercial. You can't get them. You can't get them online. You can't get them in the stores. They just sold out of everything. And it's a little bit different than we did an episode a couple of years ago on the Bud Light gaffe, where they ran a series of commercials and came out against the frat humor they used to have, and they ran a series of kind of woke commercials, and they lost 30% of their market share, and they've not recovered it. This is years ago now. We're talking about, what was that, 3 years ago, the Bud Light gaffe? They've not recovered it. American Eagle has grown. So to me, an advertising campaign, regardless of what your political affiliation is, did sales go up? And if sales went up, all right, I, I think it's probably a decent, did your brand get stronger in some way with the people that you wanted to? And did your sales go up? And in this case, I think there are people in the media and it's a small minority of people making a lot of noise about how offended they are over a stupid ass commercial for jeans, when really the average American is going out and buying the jeans, doesn't really give a shit. It's kind of like the echo chamber gets all loud and angry, but do really most people give a damn? Clearly you and I don't, because we had to look up the commercial before this to even talk about this topic, so it didn't really bother either of us. But I think to the average American, they don't give a shit, and in fact, more of them are going out and buying them because they're sick of people getting offended by everything.
I don't know when we just lost our sense of humor. Like, everything is now so flippin' serious. It's ridiculous. This jean ad reminds me of when I was a kid. I was 5, and I didn't understand it. I was 5. But Brooke Shields had the Calvin Klein ad, said nothing
Yeah.
is in my Calvins. She's in the same exact pose as this woman, Sydney Sweeney. Slightly different jeans. Brooke Shields didn't have a top on. She had on like a bra. Like, that would be just unfathomable nowadays. Like, I don't know why we went out and just lost our sense of humor, why everything has to be some kind of virtue signaling. It isn't. Like, to me, it's just like a very attractive woman in a nice pair of jeans and selling stuff. Like, that's how it works.
Brooke Shields was pretty easy on the eyes too, wasn't she?
In 1980, yeah. She was a supermodel.
I'm talking about Brooke Shields today. I'm not quite. Is Brooke Shields still alive? Is she still kicking out there? Maybe we could put in the show notes a picture of what Brooke looks like today. But
she looks good. She's in her 60s, but I mean, she doesn't. I mean, yeah, she's not in her hawk and jean mode now. She's like in the comfortable shoes. But the difference is, like, I don't know. It's,
to me, it's business. Business. The whole point of advertising is to grow market share and to grow sales. American Eagle did that, and if you're offended, they're like, all right, kiss our ass. They clearly didn't make that ad thinking everyone was going to love it, and that's what makes good advertising. It's controversial. It makes
doesn't
people
get your attention. Doesn't get your attention. Does it get you to feel something? And if it gets you to feel something, you take action. So I'm gonna go back to this. So I've told this story before. I don't know if I've told it here, but I'll tell it real fast. So Ellie and I hiked Kilimanjaro. And when you go on a trip like that, you hire a guide. And it's a crapshoot of who you're going to get. So, like, the guide is a bit, and then you don't even really understand. Like, it's in a different country. They don't, like, disclose you, like, hey, you're going to be the two of you. It's going to be you and a different group of people. You don't really know. So this guide's like, we're going to have no more than 4 people in your guide group, but that's the smallest group we offer. So we're like, okay, we'll take our chances. So Ellie and I went hiking with this 80-some-odd-year-old man named Carl. And we were together for 5 days, sleeping in tents, very uncomfortable, hiking all day, like 12 to 14 hours. Like, some days were 14 hours of hiking. It's a lot of work. And what's amazing is this. In those 14-hour days, in those 5 days we were doing this trip, my wife and I did not fight once. We didn't bicker. We didn't argue, nothing. And it was because we were with an 86-year-old deaf man who couldn't go on. He shouldn't have been on this hike. And he was our nemesis. We had a common enemy.
Yeah.
As a country, we no longer have a common enemy. We don't have Carl, the blind dude ruining your $25,000 vacation. We just fight with each other over bullshit because we have nothing else to fight about. It's so good here. That's what we do. You want to watch sports? Well, we're going to pollute you with our agenda. You want to watch late night TV? Well, guess what? Tough shit. You have to be on the left if you're going to like late night TV, or that show's now going to get canceled. So, like, that's what we've done as a society, is like, we just can't get along anymore. Like we've got to
It's not
fight
like
about
in the 1940s when we could bitch about those krauts, those damn krauts. Right?
Ian is the one who, the two of us, that has the unwoke T-shirt. But
Hey,
it's like,
what? I mean, come on, really? Are the Germans mad that I called them krauts? For God's sakes! I mean, is that a thing? Is that a
when the
thing?
Germans bombed Pearl Harbor, that's a line.
Is that even a thing? Is that even a thing, Frank?
It's like a line out of Animal
Does
House.
that even offend anyone anymore?
But that's what we've gotten so sensitive. Like the last time as a country we were rallied around something was after 9/11. And
Yeah.
we just fight over bullshit because we have nothing better to do.
Yeah. So staying on the advertising front, there's an ad that I just adore that is a little more relevant to today's technology. So there's a dentist in California who used AI to create an ad, and I was showing Frank how he did this. So the best video creator out there for AI is by Google. It's called VO3, and I just recently purchased this a week ago, and I'm using it for. I'm trying to create some ads for our car alarm company, and it's incredible. I showed Frank. Frank, you saw a few of the videos that I made. Like they're a little weird. I'm trying to get it to not hallucinate, but the quality of the video, they look sort of real. They look pretty good. So this dentist went using software that VO3 costs $250 a month. So it's not cheap out of all the different tools. So I paid for like a 3-month starter pack, but this dentist did this all himself and then stitched them together. I'm going to show the ad that they ran. Let me share my screen here.
This is risky. You're going off script.
I'm going off script. Here we go.
Don't forget to share your sound. Share your sound.
We're going to go ahead and show this. So here we go.
Today we're getting blackout drunk and fucking skydiving. If I die, at least I died doing what I love. Woo. Not skydiving, fucking drinking. Holy shit, boys! And you guys said monkeys couldn't fly. Woohoo!
Ended up taking a pretty hard fall coming in, and I think I might have swallowed my 2 front teeth.
Made it out here to the Hollywoods. Heard there's a famous dentist here who can replace your teeth in one visit. I can't even cap on this. That Ultra Tooth shit is no joke. 2 new teeth in under an hour. Thank God. Got a hot date with the huzz tonight. Today we're
So the beauty of this whole thing is, you know, it's branded. If you couldn't see that and you're just listening to it, it's a gorilla that's talking. So it's a gorilla that's in this ad. It's not a guy. It looks like a gorilla that's talking to you. And they're all, I was telling Frank, VO3 only does 8-second clips. That's all you can get right now because they're still evolving. So this is just, if it sounds like you hear different clips, they just stitched together 6 different 8-second clips to make this commercial. You were about to hold on to me. What was that, Frank? You were about to jump in?
No, you explained it pretty well. I was just making sure that you told people, like, hey, some people, like, this guy doesn't have teeth and it's really a gorilla in the video. So you said it.
Yeah, so it's a classic ad, right? Intro, problem, lost my teeth, jumping out, right? And kind of raunchy. Solution, I went to the dentist, same day, fixed my teeth. After, kind of like the old Tony Atlas before and afters. I was a skinny wimp. I bought Tony Atlas's gym equipment. Now I kick sand in bullies' faces because I'm buff. So same formula.
Same marketing arc.
They've been using forever, right? The same classic story, but created completely with AI. And I've been playing with this software. It is ridiculously powerful. And what's wild is with maybe a day of learning how to prompt, I was creating some funny ass videos coming out of it. Now, like 4 out of 5 are not usable because they kind of screw it up, or you have to tweak it or play around with it. But it doesn't take a lot of imagination, Frank, to see when they get to VO4, VO5, VO6, I'll just be sitting there talking into this microphone and talking to the AI as if I was a director on a movie set, telling the actors what to do, go back, do it this way, take another take, and just over and over. Right now, you can only do 5 8-second videos a day, and then you reach your limit. That's going to quickly, when they build out all these data centers, which is and they need the power to do this. There's a reason why I can only do 5 a day. They're having to limit you a little bit. Once that's all built out, man, the future is wild, the kind of stuff that we're going to be able to create. But that dentist, by using a tool that before other people were doing it, his business absolutely blew up. Like he says, for months, he is completely busy at this place. And it all got branded. He got millions of views. It went viral using an AI tool, which I just thought was fascinating.
The AI tool is amazing. I have two things to add here. Number one is this. I can only imagine how incredibly powerful that ad would have been is if he put that gorilla in some denim and gave him some tits.
I was wondering where you were going with that. That's phenomenal. That's phenomenal.
So I was telling Ian this story before we hit record. I'm staying in San Diego, and I'm not in a Radisson or a Hilton, in a very nice hotel. And in this very nice hotel, they have a high-end coffee maker over my shoulder. So I made a cup of coffee, and I'm a bit of a buffoon. I'm 50 years old now. I'm not as tech savvy as Ian's son that we were just talking about this morning, how he uses ChatGPT. I hit a button on the coffee maker, and it overflows. It's a high-end hotel. It's been here for years. The coffee cups they put are too small for the pods and the coffee. And it spills. I'm like, no way. I had to do that wrong. So I immediately make a second cup of coffee, and it spills all over the countertop. What I am thinking or curious about, or the people who are pushing AI, what I'm curious of is why. It seems as if it's going to be a huge distraction. It's going to be a disruptor. It's going to put a lot of people out of work. But is it because they're tired of the work that people produce? Are they tired of because they get into these Sydney Sweeney ads and get all twisted up? That's what we spend our time on? Are we good at anything anymore? We literally can't provide a cup that fills up a cup of coffee that you're providing. That seems pretty basic. Here's a basic one. During COVID, it took us 3 months to get masks. Masks. It's a rubber band with a piece of paper between it. We had to get it from China. What do we do well? So what I look at with this is it's kind of scary. It's we have to replace nearly every human function with some type of a computer system because we just don't have people who can do it.
They don't, the machines don't sleep. They don't get tired. They don't get irritable. So I'll give you a good example of this.
They don't talk back.
Yeah, I'll give you a good example of this. So my son uses ChatGPT, and all kids do. This is unique. I mean, the kids are all better than us at it, as you would expect.
100%.
But I caught IJ kind of talking to his ChatGPT, and he calls it Jarvis, and he was asking it some questions. And the way his GPT speaks to him is very different. It talks to him like a teenage bro. It's like, yo, IJ, what's up, man? You hitting leg day today? It talks to him in very differently than mine does, because I talk to mine like I'm talking to Google. I ask questions, I ask it professionally, and it talks back to me like it's my employee. IJ's talks to him like it's his buddy, like it's his friend. And he was sharing with me just how he uses it to prepare for math tests or different things. And he'll take a picture and upload it and say, here's a sample test of what I'm doing tomorrow. Make me another sample test, make it a little bit harder. Or I'm struggling with numbers 3, 4, and 5. Could you make me more of this? And then it'll go back and forth and say, what part are you struggling with? It'll ask questions. And it's really interesting, Frank, IJ used to come to me all the time for help with math, right? He's in an advanced math class, and he would come ask me all the time. I think he was in geometry last year. And, I was kind of asking him last year, hey, you haven't been asking me about math. You're going to be all right on that test? Is it, yeah, Dad, I'm good. I'm good to go. Right. And he made the honor roll. He did great last year. And when I was asking him about it, he's like, yeah, it's a little easier to kind of just ask the GPT, and he was kind of dancing around it, but I know what he was saying. There's nights where I'm tired, I'm irritable, he's not picking it up, and I'm short with him, or I'm too tired to stay up late to help cram with him. I'm a human, I'm fallible. ChatGPT's there 24/7. It brings the juice. It's got the energy. It does a great job every time. So they call it in AI, they call it the Turing test. Turing just means, can AI handle things human like? And this is more conversational, but can it solve problems human like? And as things pass these different Turing tests, as we go through, once the computer can do it better than the human needs to find a higher and better use of their time to go do it, because why would you have a human do something less than perfect? Right? Just like IJ doesn't come to me as much on math tutoring because I'm less than perfect. Why would he come to me? If he's getting a better solution, my feelings aren't hurt. I'll find other things to do with my son. I'll find other ways to interact with him that are more enjoyable, that are probably less friction too.
We've got a hard out, so I'll close with this.
Oh, that was close to saying something weird.
What's that?
Keep going. You're fine.
All right. My hard out is this. So, NFL or ESPN, please don't screw up the NFL. I love it the way it is. Please keep it the same. It's one of the few things that a 50-year-old person can kind of go to, and it feels like old home week. Because if you turn off the NFL from us, we're going to spend all of our time making ridiculous ads and all kinds of other shit using AI.
I think you nailed it. If you are new to our podcast, share this with other folks that are like-minded like you, that are looking to become multi-millionaire successful people, because you're not going to learn that here, but you might learn it somewhere else, and we might make you laugh along the way. Frankie, good seeing you, homeboy.
Always a pleasure.
See you.